I
Good
am.
evening, bitches. OGAL number 25. I ain't gonna get into this all long intro shit. I got Red Fox. I got Sprite Remix. Let's get this shit started. Some other people may show up, but here goes. A lot of I don't really know if there's any good word to sum this up, but a lot of bullshit. I'm just gonna use Red Fox's term. There's a lot of bullshit has taken place over the last week or so in gaming. A lot of bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, especially in the month of September, the last half of September. Oh boy, it has been terrible to say the least
Yeah.
for a few specific people, and we're gonna start this out with a very comical moment. So I'm not sure if you guys are next to your computers, but I am, and I'm going to go ahead and look this up because this is some very, very funny shit to say the least. But NBA 2K18. Now, I've read a few comments that it's actually gotten worse over the years in terms of the virtual currency. Somebody, I think on Reddit, I forget where it was actually, but he made a comment saying back on NBA 2K15, they would actually give you like 6,000 VC a day just for, playing a game. Just logging into the game, you get 6,000 per day. And then I think 2K16 brought it down to like 3,500. 2K17 knocked it down to 2,000, and now I heard that 2K18 you get roughly 600 a day for free. That is 10% of what it was roughly 3 years ago. So I'm thinking like that's horrible. And of course, Triple M showed me a video. I forget what the guy's name was. He outlined basically just how bad it was. Hey, like easy, like in my career mode, even if you buy a haircut with your VC, which costs like let's say costs 1,500 VC points, virtual currency. That if you change that haircut, and you want to go back to it, you have to buy it all over again. You don't get to keep it. And they said it's much much harder to level up. Now keep in mind, I like 2K, but I'm not a fan. I would say that I like it, I respect it, but I'm not a fan because I'm not too big into Sims. But um, I think it's BS. This is obviously their attempt to be just like EA, more or less. But the main reason I want to bring this up is not just because of the negativity around it, but I want to read a few of the funny ass comments on Metacritic. These are bad, very very bad. Like these people are pissed the hell off, and I can understand why. Making it almost impossible to level your character up. It's terrible. But I'm gonna read a few of these. You guys, you can go on there yourself and read a few if you want. But I want you guys to hear some of this. This is terrible. I'm looking this up. Are you guys gonna buy the game or any console?
You're
I
talking to the
was.
wrong person.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I was gonna get it, but when I heard all of this, I'm like, I'll just wait to get it on PC. And yeah, because on PC you can use trainers, and then you can get all that stuff without having to pay them a dime. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
essentially mods.
Well, yeah. Essentially, I'll get it, but I'm not going to pay them aside from the 60 that I spend on the game, or I might wait for the price to go down and then get it. Because by next year, by like February, January, this game is going to be dirt cheap because they're going to be working on the next one. So, I'll just wait. I don't need see. Unlike a lot of gamers, I don't need to have stuff right now. Because I mean, let's keep it real. Between Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
You're good.
and I mean, look all the other stuff that's coming out. Fire Emblem Warriors. I mean, damn. When am I gonna have the time to play NBA 2K? Look, it's easier for me to just take a ball and go down to my gym and play basketball than to play this game.
Well, check this out though. I finally got it pulled up, and just so people know, this is not me shitting on any one version over the other. This is the game in general. But right now, I'm looking at 2K18. The first one that pops up is a PS4 version. User score is 1.8. And this is out of 397 ratings, so nearly 400. Okay.
Dang.
Here's a comment. In other words, there's a lot of zeros and ones this game is getting. Here's the first zero on the list.
Yes.
Holy balls. What the fuck is this Shiat? You're kidding me. Are you expecting me to pay $80 more for your Shiat just to have fun with the game I already paid a small fortune for? 2K, bitch, please don't buy this game. You want to have fun with it unless you're ready to spend another fortune. Wow.
Oh, that's it. What?
Hey guys.
Here's someone else. Free-to-play game mechanics in a AAA title for $60, forcing people to buy virtual currency. This is a joke. No good. It's bad.
I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but these are the people who've been like. Here's the thing: you bought 2K10, 2K11, 2K12, 2K13, 2K14. You enabled them. You gave them your money for years and years and years, and you basically, when they first started screwing you over, you went with it because you're like, it's not that bad, you know.
Come on, Red. They were giving them with the lube.
Yeah, if you go with it, if you like, this is why I tell people: if you don't fight back when someone tries to screw you over, when they first start trying to screw you over, and then you start letting them get away with it, then, I mean, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not going to do victim blaming, but you have made it easier for them to screw you over. So why act surprised now? I can't believe these people who I've let screw me over for multiple years are now screwing me over out in the open. Well, you let them do it in private. Why should they stop now?
Oh, man, that sounded so dirty.
Well, I mean, basically, think about it. Everyone's like, well, 2K just started doing this. No, the dude said it. I mean, Dr. Feelgood said it. They've been doing this for years. It was just a gradual type of thing. It was like, well, I'm not going to get dirty on this cast, but you know, it was a very gradual, let me get you used to the idea. You know?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, but to me, and before I go on, we got a new person here. Raphael, you there?
Yeah. Well, you can call me Piggy Don. I am
welcome to the OGAL, man. I'm not sure if you know, but as you can see, anyone's welcome. You want to talk about games, you can definitely come. Just let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and give your opinions.
Well, let's see. You guys are talking about NBA 2K18, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting that game. I'm not interested in getting the game even less because of the controversy.
Well, I'm pretty sure that sums it up for most of us, man. I mean, when I heard this, now don't get me wrong, I'm all for, at least they give you the option to grind. At least it's not a requirement for you to buy. But essentially it is, because they say it makes it almost impossible. I think someone did the math. It would take you over 400 games of getting an A+ rating to max out your character or something like that. Like, it's like over 300-400 games.
Heck yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, look, I love all types of games, not just one genre. There is no way in hell, with me having all the systems I have and all the games I have enough time to invest in 300 games and enjoy my other games. I'm sorry. If I invest so much time, I may as well go work out and practice every day and end up like Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is this. Everyone's like, I can't believe this has happened. But 2K's been doing this for, I mean, because, okay, who owns 2K?
Not me.
No.
Not me.
I don't mean the game. I mean the company. Who owns 2K?
I thought it was no, 2K owns Rockstar.
Okay. What has 2K been doing on all their other properties?
I think Take-Two owns 2K. I think Take-Two is the main parent company.
So what has Take-Two been doing with all their other properties?
They've been neglecting them.
No,
inserting microtransactions.
Yes. The man got it. They've been doing.
This is a small tidbit real quick. This is a small tidbit. I didn't know this myself, but it looks like you can't even play My Career offline.
Yeah. So
Because I have GTA 5 on PC, and it's always like, oh, you can get this card or that credit card.
Yeah. They're all like, you can get a shirt card. It's like, so you want me to spend real money for fake money in this shitty online game? Are you insane? And and they've been doing this for years. I mean, they've been doing this as soon as they started doing this on their single player games recently, but now they're really starting to do it. I know they've been doing it on their online games for years. So why are people acting surprised now? It's like, I can't believe that this person has been screwing us over. Really?
I can't believe it's not butter.
I can't believe.
Oh gosh!
I can't believe that this person who everyone knows is. I mean, that's like someone saying, I can't believe this person who everyone knows is a crackhead, and if you let them in your house, they'll steal your stuff. They went in my house and stole my stuff. Really? You're surprised? Everyone knows they're a crackhead. That's what they do.
It seems like everyone's finally awakened of what's really going on with these third-party companies.
But I mean, I can agree with that. But here's my problem. I think some of the people, for really being aware, for being cognizant and waking up to this BS, the problem is you swallowed this bullshit
for like 10 years.
You swallowed this bullshit with some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce for the last decade, essentially.
At least you didn't say.
No, I mean, think about it. All of these companies started doing this stuff during the 7th gen. On the Xbox 360 and the PS3, they started nickel and diming people with microtransactions because the infrastructure was there to let them do that. Thanks a lot, Microsoft, you assholes. But anyway, the online, ever-present, we're going to bring the PC to console industry, okay? And they started it, and everyone, this is great. This is going to be great. I'm like, nah, this is just going to give them a backdoor to screw you over. And no one ever said anything. No, man, I love this. This is great. And as they were getting screwed over, they thought it was a good thing. I mean, you know, why be happy about getting fucked over? But I mean, and now they realize I'm bleeding from getting screwed over. I mean, how dare they? But you were just taking it for like the 7th gen. What was almost 10 years ago started? You've been taking it for 10 years. Why complain now? Why be like, nah, man, that's too far. It was too far 10 years ago, but you went with it. So I mean, you know.
And people said backwards compatibility was backwards.
Hold on, guys. Check out this review. Okay. I probably shouldn't even read it, but I'm going to. This is the worst basketball game to ever be released. 2K went from great to Spike Lee rock bottom to the absolute definition of hell. After Lee, I figured career mode and GM mode could only get better. But forget racism. This is way worse than racism. This game is ass.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Talk about Obama.
Hold on, listen to this. I never write reviews. In fact, I just created this account just to post my review. I know microtransactions, unfortunately, are becoming more and more the norm in video game industry. However, not until I got this game did I feel like a company like 2K is intentionally trying to scam me. Everything about this game is real money driven. The game has been created not for the loyal fan base, but for the greedy 2K company. You can't see the ratings of your My Player when spending virtual currency to level up. It's almost like they expect people to put in the time and, more importantly, money just to see if the My Player architect you created is the one you really want. And when you realize that it's not, it's too late. You already spent a bunch of real money on a player you don't want to run with, so you start over. Or 2K hopes you start over and spend more money. You can't even preview the hairstyle for the same reason, I'm sure. And once you change your hairstyle, you can't change it back without paying more virtual currency. Again, this is 2K hoping you don't like your first or second option, so you have to keep spending money.
That's like if it's Splatoon 2, if you wanted to change your hairstyle back, Nintendo was to ask you to pay for that first before customizing your kit.
Nintendo's like, that'll be $5.
Man, I live it.
Man.
Hey,
Modern gaming. They want everyone wants everyone to get with the times. You need to get with the times. Look I'm gonna say this right now. The times suck. All right, not Morris Day in the times. I like Jungle Love. I'm talking about the video game times.
as I said, the current times suck as far as video games are concerned. Because
Well, don't worry, because this will all be over by the time a second video game crash comes in.
And I only read half that guy's review, just so you know. That was only half his review. So I don't need to read the rest of it, but you can tell that was half of his review. I shit you not.
Dang.
what's
This
the
is the
other
person
half?
that said he created an account on Metacritic just to post a review about the game, and he gave it a straight up 0.
He's like, they've done nothing but screw me over. I mean, but they've been doing that for years, though. That's the thing that gets me is that everyone's like, I can't believe they did that. But you've been going with it for like 5 years. I mean, why not surprise now? It's like, how dare they do that? I mean,
Now, you know what? The one review I did not read, it was one review that came right before this. Now that you mentioned that, Red Fox, I made it a point not to read it, but I guess I will. They started out by saying like they bought 2K for the last 7 years, and it's never been this bad. It's like, well, that was pretty much. Here it is. I drew part of it. I bought this game every year for the past 7 years, and here I am a couple weeks after the release of this game, and I don't want to play it. 2K forgot that people pay $60 for a game in order to have fun. I didn't buy the game to work a job or grind. I have a job already that paid for the game, which is supposed to be fun. Remember? That's only part of the review, but you basically are. I understand you like the game, but you're also part of the problem. You bought a basketball game in which really the only significant changes are roster changes. You bought it every year for the past 7 years, man.
I mean, couldn't you wait until the next?
you know, I think gamers should be like me, right? Like, I buy one, when it comes to games like Call of Duty and NBA and all that stuff, I get one of those games every few years. Like almost one a gen, really. I get one. Actually, except for Madden.
year.
I was about to ask if it's a good idea to just buy one NBA title per console.
Per gen out, yes, that was definitely my plan. At least
What I recommend is don't buy the first one of a console when it comes out. Buy the second or third because they made some significant improvements. The ones after that during the generation are minute improvements at best.
I do one per gen. That's my thing. Like me, when it comes to sports games, and normally, like nowadays, since I have a gaming PC, I get it on my PC because then I have more control over what's going on. I can mod it. I can unhook it so it doesn't have anything to do with their bullshit ass, online stuff.
You play.
You play. Everyone's like, how dare you? Look, I don't like you play. I don't want to be, but don't you want you play rewards? No. Don't you?
Oh, don't be so mean now. Let's not be mean tonight.
Don't you? Well, look, man. I would say I don't want to be mean, but let's not forget, Ubisoft is the company that's releasing $60,000 damn headphones for Assassin's Creed Origin. So look,
damn, they got beats. Got beats by Dre beat. Damn.
Hold on, back up. What the hell you just say?
They are partnering with Beats by Dre to release $60,000 gold-plated.
That's what I talked about earlier.
Headphones. Yeah.
What the fuck for? I'm sorry. That came out.
I don't know. Look, man. I don't know. Look, listen. As a business person, I would never do that. I would never do that. But they're dumb enough to do that. But this is Ubisoft, the company that's about to be devoured by
Vivendi.
Our good old friends Vivendi. So,
well, you know what? Here's a little.
You gotta make that money back somehow with these headphones.
We're gonna move on to the next terrible news that popped up recently.
You're gonna say about Forza?
Sprite, I know you're gonna enjoy it. Not yet, Triple M, but we're gonna get there.
Oh, okay.
But Marvel vs.
That's
Capcom
simple.
Infinite. Let's read some of those comments, shall we?
my.
And I'll let Sprite take this one away.
I have several things to say about
That game actually did worse than Street Fighter V.
And here's the thing, on a technical level,
I heard it's worse than NBA 2K sold in Japan.
on a technical level, it's better than Street Fighter V.
This is coming from the fighting game community saying that it's the best game so far, which I gotta give a middle finger to.
Well, they were paid to say that. They were paid to say it.
And now, it gets better though. You know how Pokken also Street Fighter V? Pokken also Marvel's Capcom Infinite.
So you're telling me that in Japan and the UK, Pokken is more popular than
Capcom's latest output.
Which is what then Marvel versus Capcom. Marvel versus Capcom, which I mean, to be fair, Marvel versus Capcom is basically like a Smash Brothers game. It should be an event, and people came out and people like, man, that's embarrassing.
The hype, there's like no hype around that game after.
And another terrible thing is the DLC. There are 4 Marvel characters and only 2 Capcom characters that are gonna be coming soon.
Wow, that's a terrible balance.
That we know of. Yeah.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better though. Ultra Street Fighter 2 did better.
Okay. Well, here's the first comment I see for user. By the way, the user score for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is like a 4.6. It is primarily negative.
So that's 4.6 out of what? Out of 10?
Out of 10. Fantastic Four characters.
Yeah.
So the first comment is by John. He gave it a 2. He said it's unforgivable that in 2017 a new Marvel vs. Capcom game will look so bad. Character models look plastic and stiff, horrid storyline, and lack of key characters that have always been a part of the franchise. A total disaster. The next person gave it a flat-out 0. You basically paying $60 for an unfinished game, then have to pay $30 more for extra DLC characters they already done. Only idiots would give greedy company like Capcom these money.
Well, I mean,
It showed the fighting game community.
I played a little bit of the game, and I'm gonna be honest, okay? To me, the game is fine and dandy. Although I would tell this to anyone: don't buy this game day one. Please, for the love of God, don't buy this game day one.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Check this out. This is the problem I talked about in a recent video, and videos even a couple years back. Here's a comment. He gave it a 2. I know I'm a sucker, and I went ahead and bought it, even though I thought I'd be disappointed. So I'm going to stop right there. First, I want to examine that. I know I'm a sucker, and I went ahead and bought it, even though I knew I'd be disappointed.
Wow.
If you know a game is
It's
a
gonna
disappointment
disappoint you.
before
And
you buy it, why would you still
bought it?
go and buy it?
Because
you a dumbass.
Hold on, listen.
No.
I became suspicious the moment they announced it. That's the second sentence, guys. I became suspicious. The moment they announced it, though, and should have stuck with my gut. During the time of the announcement, it was reported that because Disney canceled their Infinity series, they wanted to revive another installment of Marvel vs. Capcom series. So this was done to have another outlet to promote their properties, blah, blah, blah. But my thing is, you knew you'd be disappointed. You knew you were already suspicious of the game, yet you went out. You could have waited. You could have waited a month and got a holiday price.
I'm gonna.
No. Let me introduce this in terms of me buying my studio. Yeah.
Oh my God, he has a vibe.
Double. Yeah. Really?
Yes, I'm here. Me there.
Hey, Double M.
You're right. But yeah, let me define this in terms of me buying my studio. Yeah. Now, I bought a pair of KRK speakers. Monitors actually. Now, And there is a difference between monitors and speakers. Now I saw these limited edition. Well, there were these limited edition ones, which were called the white noise edition, which, you know, with the white KRK speakers, they've got the yellow speaker in them, whereas these white noise ones, the speaker's grey and white. Now, I was skeptical because the price of it was at the price of both speakers with balanced cables and isolation pads was cheaper than the cables, that was cheaper than the black version by about £50, and the black version wasn't giving you balanced cables, they were unbalanced. Now, I was skeptical because of that pricing, and what I did before I even thought about buying the product was contact the retailer to make sure that there isn't something of lesser quality or whatever in the product to begin with, and that is the exact same product, just a different color. When they confirmed that to me, that's when I decided to buy it. I didn't, you know, think to myself, I was skeptical and blah, blah, this, that, didn't do any research and try and find out and stuff, and then just buy the product, hoping that it was going to be good, even though I'm skeptical about it. No. I'm spending my money here. I want to make sure that I am getting what I'm paying for.
See, that's where you made a mistake, dude. Look, we don't do research. We just look at something and look good. I got it.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Fox.
To everyone out there, to everyone out there that's listening in, look, we all are, should I say, dummies or idiots for our favorite franchise, IP, thing, whatever. We all are. If I told Red Fox right now, look, dude, I got a pristine, unopened copy of Chrono Trigger. Works perfectly fine, actual cartridge. I'm pretty sure in his mind, price is not even an option. It's not even the issue. It's just he's up for it. But then
let me say something though, Doc. Their favorite franchises for a reason. They have proven track records.
True.
Once you slip off your proven track, once a game slips, what you got to understand. Look, for instance, if I was to buy a video game, for instance, the reason why I buy a Zelda game every time without question is because the track record of Zelda games is really high. It's one of the highest out of any video game out there. Now, another game that may be of a different franchise, or that may be something new, or maybe of a franchise that I'm not used to and stuff like that. Let's say, for instance, Uncharted. And I've never played an Uncharted game before, you know. I'm going to do my research before buying it to know what I'm kind of getting myself into, to see if it is something I would genuinely be interested in.
But the problem here, Double M, is that according to this review, he did his research. He did his research, and he still jumped first.
Then I will say this: he has made an absolute and utter God-given right, conscious decision to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, like
thank you very much.
Here's the thing that gets me about all of it. Okay, here's the thing that kind of makes me go, okay, there's clearly something wrong here, right? Is because, I mean, I'm not going to blame the consumers on this one, because if you're a fan of Marvel vs. Capcom, okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, good game. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, better game. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has a lot of issues, but if you get the last edition of it, which I would tell anyone who knows Capcom games knows this, they do multiple editions, and once you get towards the last of the installment of the editions, they've worked it out. It's pretty good. So the last edition of it, pretty good.
They sound like, you make them sound like the Bethesda of Japan.
It was still screwed because they still have the first 2 DLC characters as DLC in the Ultimate Edition.
Well, yeah, here's the problem though. Here's where the caveat comes in. Here's where I have to say, okay, there's a problem here, because if you look at the Marvel vs. Capcom series, yeah, relatively solid. You know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had some issues, but I mean, if you're looking at it as a competitive game, which I don't know why anyone would look at, Marvel vs. Capcom is a competitive game, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, not very balanced. But then again, let's keep it real. I mean, in what universe could Ryu actually beat the Hulk? Okay, like so. I mean, people are like, it's not balanced enough. It's not supposed to be balanced. Okay, I mean, you've got superheroes versus a guy who's really good at karate. Yeah, who do you think's gonna win? Okay, so basically, right? So I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to me was not that bad of a game. I wasn't like, oh my god, this is unbearable. This Magneto.
It wasn't bad. It was just freaking broken and unbalanced, but it wasn't a bad game.
But if you really.
I mean, one of the complaints about Marvel vs. Capcom 3's roster was the lack of any incarnation of Mega Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not talking about people who are like mad about certain characters. I'm talking about like legit, like, because everyone's gonna want to have their favorite characters in certain games. Like, man, I wish instead of that asshole Cloud Strife in Smash Brothers, we'd had Chrono from Chrono Trigger. And but that stopped me from buying the game because they put that asshole in it. Well, actually, I had the game before and they added him as DLC, but that's neither here nor there. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like, everyone's gonna have, I'm talking about legit things, not like, well, my character wasn't in it. But then you look at something like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and it's got some issues. And here's the thing: if you look at the last few fighting games Capcom has put out, they have been garbage. Okay, like Street Fighter V, garbage.
Incomplete garbage. You mean?
Street Fighter V was garbage. It was incomplete garbage, but garbage nonetheless. And now we have Marvel vs. Capcom, also garbage. It's like they can't catch a break. They just, if there's a way to F up, they'll find it.
Just be glad that they're not making a new Darkstalkers game.
They'd probably F that up too.
Yeah, I'm really glad about that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, I used to work as a bin man, and you can make some pretty decent money doing that. So, if all the Capcom guys can do is make garbage, if they get out of a job in game developing, they know where they can go. It's all good.
I don't even think it's. I don't even think it's a garbage thing with Capcom. I think their problem is that they keep on taking games and essentially. I think they're so penny pinching that they're contracting a lot of their stuff out to low tier studios to do stuff, and that's what's hurting them, I think. Now, do I have proof of this? No, but I mean it makes sense.
But what else could be hurt? What else could be hurting them as well is that they like their audience. I don't think they really properly understand their audience, and they don't understand that the type of experience that their audience want does not reflect the games they're currently making. In fact, the games they're currently making seems like they're trying to make, a lot of the games I've seen them make seems like they're trying to just make, the Japanese version of the next Call of Duty, and
well, that's never too bad because Nintendo beat them to the punch.
Not literally Call of Duty.
Well, what I'm saying is that Splatoon is basically like the Japanese Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. No, but the point I'm making is, I'm not saying like a Japanese Call of Duty in that sense. The point I'm making is that they're trying to make games it's almost like they're trying to make games to appeal to that market when they've already got a very good market on their hands. If they just do things, I'm not saying do things the way they've always done it, because I'm an advocate for change, but if they just, stick with a good foundation, one that's worked for them, and then they can build from there and expand from there. And who knows, by doing that, you may even be able to expand into that mass range with something completely new and innovative. But, no one's doing innovation nowadays, not even Nintendo fully to that degree anymore.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I personally think Capcom just doesn't understand how to make their own games anymore. They don't know how to do it anymore. They don't know how to make fighting games that people want to really play anymore. They make a lot of drivel that's like that, you know, it's like it's either over casualized or it's stupid, and they don't know how to handle kerfuffles that might not be their fault. Like, okay,
come on, man. What about Okami?
Well, okay, Okami, that was them, but I'm talking about like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Okay, they're like, people are like, why aren't the X-Men here? You need to go talk to Disney about that. Okay, because Disney wants to bury the X-Men because they don't want Fox. They don't want to make the X-Men a more valuable IP. That's a business decision. That has nothing to do with, you know, that's not a Capcom thing. That's on the IP holders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I feel like they had a valid reason why X-Men is not in Marvel's Capcom Infinite. People would have been fine, but it's just the way
I mean, it's the thing. There is a valid reason. It's business. Disney wants to bury the rights because they don't want to make the X-Men more valuable so that they can eventually get their shit back. And as someone, I mean, we've seen what happens when Marvel gets their IPs back, how awesome they can be. Look at Daredevil. Look at Luke Cage. Look at Jessica Jones. Look at...
Well, it's gonna be hard because X-Men's The Gifted. I mean, has X-Men The Gifted been out on TV yet?
Yeah, X-Men The Gifted is out, but notice something about The Gifted. Never do they call them mutants or the X-Men. Even there, they're not allowed to call them certain things.
Well,
I heard
them mention the X-Men.
You know, it's even SJWs has even made its way into the Matrix.
Wait, what?
The SJWs, the Social Justice Warriors. That's what
I have no idea what
you're saying. Because you're saying the X-Men, they call them the Gifted now.
No. They call them the Gifted because it basically, for legal reasons, it's kind of like the reason why in what was the name of that friggin' movie? Age of Ultron. They couldn't call
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. They couldn't call them mutants. They called them like Special or the Blessed or something like that. I don't know.
No, that was in Avengers, wasn't it? They called them like Enhanced.
Yeah, but I mean, we knew they were mutants. Anyone who knows anything about Marvel knew they were mutants, but they couldn't say it because of rights issues.
Also because Marvel retconned them not being mutants in the comics.
And about what I say, it wasn't about like the whole like you said, it's a business stage. But I'm saying like when the guy came out and said, "Oh, no one remembers the X-Men," like he shouldn't have said that. He could have. No, he could have said no valid reason. That solved the fan base that started with the games back in the '90s. That's based in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look, to be fair, they handled that incorrectly, but I mean, they have a valid reason for not having them in there because it's a business reason. Disney doesn't want to make it. Disney doesn't want to make the X-Men more valuable. Fair enough.
That's a valid reason. They just couldn't say that. But now
well, hey, check this out. SK Master made a good comment. He said, at this point, it seems best for these companies to remaster games because gamers hate change. You know what? I can agree with that because whenever there's even the smallest change, when they implemented motion controls into Star Fox, they lost their shit.
Look, the problem it's not. This is not a gaming problem. This is a societal problem. This is one of the reasons why society is not moving forward. If you understand business and you understand society, what moves it forward is new and innovative ideas. Yes, they start off slow at first, and yes, it's hard for the people to accept them, but you know, that isn't, you know, it's not those who bent to the will of the people. It's not those who necessarily just bent to the will of the people who, you know, were successful in innovation. It's those who stuck with the innovation, knowing that at some point it was going to be needed in society. The problem that you have with gaming, which is a problem with society and with business and everything as a whole, is that you have a lot of innovative ideas that are out there, but people are so stuck on the same thing, a lot of people are so stuck on the same thing and what's trending that the market almost becomes monopolized in its sense, and not in the way that one business has a monopoly on everything, but in a way that people allow certain businesses to be in a position of a monopoly because that is all they support.
You know,
that's what Ultron was also arguing in Age of Ultron, which is why he wants to get rid of all human life and replace them with AI robots.
You know, I have to disagree with that assertion. The reason people like certain things is because they maintain a certain level of quality. You know what you're going to get every time. Yes, innovation is great. It's kind of like with Ford when they were coming up with their new Mustang, right? And they were like, yeah, this is going to be our new Mustang. And they showed it to people, and they're like, yeah. And then they said, this is going to be our new Mustang. People hated it because it didn't fit the status quo of what they thought a Mustang should be because it was an iconic thing. It's like if Nintendo said, we're making a new Mario game, and it's going to be very different from any Mario game ever said. Okay, we've ever made. Okay, cool. Okay, it's not going to star this little Italian used to be plumber guy.
I agree with.
Like if you make drastic changes like that destroys the basis of why people like something, and that's why a lot of games are failing.
Don't get me wrong. I agree there has to be a balance. You do have to have some foundation as to what made your brand great in the first place. But what I'm saying is what propels industry forward, like opening up new jobs and new opportunities and stuff like that, tends to be new and innovative ideas that are needed in society.
Oh yeah,
or that people want.
You definitely do need new ideas, but once you get people hooked with this is the it factor, you need to really kind of balance out. You need to keep the quality of a certain level, and I mean a lot of games aren't getting that. Like I'm not saying Marvel vs. Capcom does not need to be a new experience. You just need to deliver something that's solid. That's a solid.
This is kind of the problem I was getting to, and you actually explained it better than me. Is that people have gotten to the point where they just don't want to. They just want to accept what's trending, not necessarily what's of the right quality.
I mean, they won't even do that. I mean,
I remember back in the days when people bought a brand, they bought the brand for its reputation of quality. Like if you bought and it's still like that today with certain things like appliances and stuff like that. If I buy an iron, I buy from a certain brand because I can guarantee that brand will more or less have the quality.
But now we are all buying products that are.
Huh?
But now we're all buying products that are based on popularity rather than quality, right?
Yes, there's a lot of things that are just bought based on popularity and not quality.
Yeah, that's what's going. That's how come we get what's going on in the industry now. Is like shoot, and people keep buying
because they know they sell. Because people keep buying.
Yeah, because all this popularity kind of is like it's high school all over again. If it's not there,
the reality of it is, if people demand better quality, we will see better quality.
But people won't do it. It's like people. It's like I went someplace one time and these people were sitting there and they were like this guy was complaining about Battlefield 4, which is still a broken piece of shit, folks. And he's like, yeah, this game is broken. I'm like, why did you buy it? He's like, well, I want to play with my friends, but it will never get fixed and it's still broken. Yeah, but I just wanted to play with my friends. I'm like, you're the reason why the industry sucks.
I mean, I feel like this industry is like I feel like it's stuck because either you have these people that's all about, oh man, my friends are playing all these shooters, so I'm gonna try it, or you have the ones that's clinging on to nostalgia, like, oh man, wouldn't it be nice if this game from 20 years ago get a HD remake on PlayStation 4?
Yeah, the nostalgia factor is another thing as well. People need to kind of move with the times as well. Like nostalgia is all great and everything, and I like the fact that I think nostalgia works great in something like a virtual console environment where, and I'm not just talking about Nintendo. I'm just using virtual console name for a better namesake because any console that has any kind of virtual arcade and stuff like that, unless the game was that iconic that it deserves a remake, then to me, having a virtual library to access this past collection really is already hitting that nostalgia fact, because then you have access to these games in their original form, how you remember it. Sometimes when you remaster a game, it might not be as good as the original.
Another bad thing about being nostalgic, because people can also be nostalgic for actually bad products.
Exactly, but they may not have known it was bad at the time because, they may have been a kid just playing that game, enjoying it for what it is.
I mean, look at the people who were wilding out over Crash Bandicoot. I mean, That's not the greatest game ever, but people have nostalgia.
Yeah, one,
let's
well, 2 and 3.
let's not go dissing Crash Bandicoot here. Like there's you know
I will dish Crash Bandicoot.
Actually, no. To be honest, up to Crash Bandicoot 3, in my opinion, it was live. After that, it started to drop off.
Well, let's talk about something very, very controversial. I'm pretty sure at least half of you know where I'm going with this. Extremely controversial. It comes around almost every 6 months.
Hold on, dog. Are you finished with the Metacritic Marvel Infinite stuff?
Yeah, unless you got one you want to read.
Yeah, we pretty much discussed this.
I have one more thing to say. If there's going to be a second season of the DLC, I expect them to give us 2 Marvel characters and 4 Capcom characters to even out.
Man, at the rate this game is failing, I don't even think we'll get a season 2, man.
Okay, let's stop being so mean. You know what?
No, there's mean
I'm about to give everyone a license to be an asshole. So check this out. We all know about this. We all know about this.
You don't need to give me a license for that. I'll just do that naturally.
But Nintendo is no longer allowing live streaming of their content. And you know, the whole YouTube world is pissed, except for those of us that don't monetize and don't really give a shit, because we actually hold real jobs and we actually game for fun, not profit. So,
Angel, this one I can hear them screaming and crying all the way around town.
But here are my thoughts on it real quick, and I'll let you guys go. Listen, people, listen up. You guys all know the truth. Stop fucking playing like you don't know the truth. You know that what you're doing is not fair use. You know that a regular Joe that you don't know his name or anyone cannot borrow your car and drive your car around town and waste all the gas and do whatever, and you be okay with that. That's called stealing. It's called grand theft auto, and it is a felony.
Hey.
So if you you know what you're doing. Being pissed off because you can't stream their content, guess what? It didn't affect me one bit. You know why? Because I can still post all my videos because I don't care. I get copyright strikes every now and again. You know what? It still says people can see my video. I just can't monetize it. You see how much freedom you give when you monetize? And don't give me this bullshit of it's free advertising. Guess what? You guys are free advertising for the Wii U. Did that help?
Well,
14 million sales. It didn't help.
Let's keep it real here, okay? First of all, when people say, "Oh, it's free advertising," no, motherfucker. Free advertising. There is no such. First of all, there is no such thing as free advertising. Second of all, if it was really like, look, Nintendo is a big, huge company. I'm a small business, and even I have to, pay certain people to advertise certain things for me. Okay, it's not free. I mean, it's not free. And these people, Nintendo is paying millions of dollars for advertising. They're not.
People are rescuing them.
Now,
hey, Doc,
now, here's the thing. Liger did explain on his last video that the free part actually goes both ways. Nintendo doesn't have to pay, and the ones who's doing the advertisement shouldn't get paid either.
Yeah, I mean, if it was really free, then they wouldn't be getting money out of it. But if there's money, if you're making money off of someone else's IPs, and you're like, well, I'm giving you exposure,
they're coming for your dime.
Then that's not free advertising.
Well, here's the big question: did Nintendo ask you to advertise freely for them?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Oh. They wouldn't do that because
if they really wanted to pay you to advertise them, they advertise for them. They'd give you a job.
Or I mean, that's why they had the partners program. And first of all, the reason, from what I heard, the reason that that they're asking people not to stream their games has nothing to do with the money aspect of it. The reason they don't want people to stream their games now is because of our good old friend Felix Kjellberg.
PewDiePie and the N-word controversy.
Look, listen, if they want to get mad at the guy who basically went to the pool and took a big dump in it. Okay? That's the dude you got to get angry at.
But I do understand where Nintendo's coming from in the sense that a business has to take when it comes to situations like that, a business has to, and I'm not saying it because I'm black or anything like that, I'm just saying it because I just understand how these things work. When it comes to a situation like that, and it's just one person that does it, then, you know, even
there's a chance everybody's gonna do it.
Exactly, and it's just that, you know, you put the risk there. I mean, the risk was always there, but you've exploited the risk. And now that you've exploited the risk, unfortunately, everyone has to suffer.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a big issue if it was just because there were people who had done live streams that were like little small time people, and it didn't really matter. But the problem is that this is PewDiePie, and this dude is like literally like, I think he was like
10 million.
He's like the biggest gaming YouTuber on YouTube. So if he's doing it, this dude messed up the pool for everybody, and no one seems to want to acknowledge that because YouTube has no real how can I put this? It has no quality control. People just do whatever the heck they want.
But see, I think it's more than that. Though. I mean, to me, here's what I think has happened. We all know they create policies and laws over time. Once something has been exploited to a certain point, or someone notices a loophole, whether it be bureaucratic or not, or political, they create a law to govern or regulate it. 10 years ago, when you were streaming content on YouTube, no one really thought too much of it. But then once they started letting people monetize videos and get sponsors and shit, you're literally making money off of someone else's product. Now, we have seen, for years, for decades, we knew this is illegal when it came to when someone write a book or do a movie. That's why even you watch these reality shows and people and these celebrities are wearing T-shirts and shit, you will see them blur out the brand name or the label because that reality show is bringing in money. And if you even show a brand name on a T-shirt, whether it be a pair of pants, shirt, whatever, you have to pay them.
And that's confusing because they're willing to blur out all those product labels, yet they won't blur out the genitals and art, such as the Michelangelo.
Exactly, because you don't have to pay for that. But see, if like honestly, let's say if I was in a reality show and I had a shirt on that said Versace, it's just in black letters in the front for 2 seconds. If Versace never noticed it, wouldn't be a big deal. You get away with it, sky clean. But if Versace said, wait, hold on. Was that my name on, was that, my brand on that shirt? They didn't call me about that. Even though the reality show is not using Versace, they're not promoting it. The fact is that name was used in content that is monetized. So essentially, that's almost like you're selling a product because you know how diehard people are when it comes to some celebrities. Oh, look at that shirt he was wearing. People go out and buy shit just for that reason. So the Versace person can be like, well, hey, look, no, you never asked me if you could feature my products in your show. So either I'm going to sue you or you need to pay me for this. Yeah, that's why you have sponsors. These people that race in NASCAR, they're paying for those labels on those cars.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But that shit's not free. That's not free advertising. If you see a single M&M or Juicy Fruit, whatever you see in that car, it can be as small as a quarter. They're paying for that, people. They are literally paying tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that label can be seen whenever someone photographs it or records it.
And if they're not,
so you use Nintendo's content to stream video games. I don't care if you're talking about something in life. If you're streaming their content and you're getting money off of it, no matter how you're getting it, Nintendo has the right to say, well, hell, hold on. You didn't ask permission to use our stuff to make money. Okay. Well, I just chose some random gameplay from my library. Okay, but even still, that's my gameplay. And you're making money. But this is my content. You didn't use my content to make money, but my content is being used to generate money on your channel. So I'm entitled to those proceeds because you did not get my permission.
Yep.
That is a law.
So
it's that simple. Stop pretending that it's free advertising. If it was free, you do it for free. I do it for free. Red Fox does it for free. We all on here do it for free. So that's what free advertising is, that I can actually show gameplay or make a video and not monetize. That is free advertising. It's called word of mouth. I don't pay someone to go out there and talk about me and what I offer. That's what free advertising is. Free advertising, yeah, it's free because you ain't paying for the rights to use it, but at the same time, you're making money off of it. I want you right now, take your favorite rap or R&B artist song or country singer and put it on your page and and write an email to the artist and say, I'm using your song for my page and I'm making money off of it. Watch how hard the band hammer comes down on your ass.
Well, it's good that
it's free until you get caught.
It's good that you said.
Has there been a case where videos that don't monetize gameplay videos get copyright taken down?
Yeah,
they have.
They've been taking that because like it's actually up to either the license holder or the person who owns the content or the IP. It's up to them to make the decision what to do. And I got a prime example. When Nintendo did their whole Super Bowl reveal using the Imagine Dragons song, I love that shit. So I actually featured, when I made a video, I featured like that whole ad in my video that I made. It wasn't live stream. I actually pre-recorded it and uploaded it. Imagine Dragon copyright claimed my shit and they muted the fucking video. It even said their decision was determined to mute all audio, not just their song, but the entire video had no audio. And guess what? It was all for a it wasn't even for the whole song. I had the whole song.
Well,
they copyright the last 10 seconds.
I got that same issue when I did a live reaction video for Microsoft's E3 2014 conference, and I actually, what's it called? Yeah, I actually, my reaction for the Microsoft conference actually got muted.
Yeah, so it happens. People just think that, oh, Nintendo's the only one. No, everyone does it. I've had multiple videos. Like, it was some other song I did. It was some song by a rapper I had in one of my videos. They copyright claimed shit, and they literally muted it. This is like a 10-year-old song, but they muted it. But at the end of the day, I'm just simply saying, this shit happens, and they have the right.
Let me use music as an example. Now, I've not put myself in a position yet as an artist to put out music that I can sell yet. So, but I still put out music on SoundCloud and things like that. Now, one, a lot of the beats I use, they're either covers from old tracks, or they're either beats covering from old tracks, or they're beats that are actually that literally say next to them free to use for non-commercial purposes. Simply because I don't want no issues and stuff like that. Now, I'm just putting out music for free. Now, certain tracks which I have uploaded onto SoundCloud, which are cover tracks over certain beats and things like that, they have been flagged and removed, and simply because of the copyright ownership of the beat. And this is music I'm putting out for free. So I get pissed, but I can't really complain because I didn't email these people and say, oh, I'm going to use your beat to make a cover of your track for non-commercial purposes. It's their music. They have every right to do with it what they want. I can get as pissed as I want. I can't complain. The fact of the matter is, it's not going to change the reality of the situation. The music got taken down because the license holders deemed it was, it wasn't being used in legal context.
And see, that's what people just need to understand. Look, they're not attacking you personally, so people get mad saying, "Oh no, this is bad." Like I think I even watched Dr. Trey video, which I respect the guy. I think his reasoning was sound. He says, "Does Nintendo have the right to do it?" Yes. Was it a good idea? No. I'm like, no. It depends on what perspective. For the person making money, no, it's not a good idea. But for Nintendo, they can promote their own shit, get paid for the free advertising themselves, write their own check and pay themselves without having to use other people to do it, because the same people that claim this is free advertising, since when have you encouraged people to buy a Nintendo product?
And here's the thing, and going back to even my thing of using another artist beat, here's another reason why I can't get mad. And it's the same with gaming on this. And it's a simple saying, you didn't put in on this. I didn't put in the millions of PR and marketing and the studio time and the making of the beat and then getting the artist to come on it and do their bursts and the amount of the tours and the performances and stuff. I didn't invest in any of that, you know. In fact, the fact that I can even listen to it for free, download it and use it, even if illegally, or recording it for my own purpose, you know, that is, in all fairness, more than a fair exchange, because really and truly I should be paying for it.
But the way I see it, though, is that these people have gotten accustomed to it.
Hold on, let me just quickly finish. And it's the same with video games. At the end of the day, my fair you know, this company has invested how many millions into this video game in terms of developing it, programming it, the amount of time spent as well, paying people to do the work, PR, marketing, advertising, all that stuff. I didn't put in any of that. All I did was put in my money to get the video game so that I can have the right to play it.
Exactly.
But you know what else, though?
To me, that's a fair exchange.
But
what you do with the content from that point is down to you. It's your product at the end of the day. It's not my product. It's just, you know, I've just got a copy of it.
But I think part of the problem is that people have gotten accustomed to that for years. They got away with this shit. See, in the beginning, these companies didn't care. In fact, a lot of them didn't truly even know what the hell was going on. And then somehow,
you gotta remember, when YouTube first came out, you couldn't make money off advertising from it. So for someone to put someone's content on YouTube, it didn't really affect anyone in any way.
Exactly. But when the advertising started coming, people got away with it. No one ever got copyright claim. No one ever got caught doing it. And I will say this, and this is true, just like a crime. You're not guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. It's legal until you get caught. So yes, you got away with this shit, monetizing Nintendo's content for the last 6 years. You got away. They never got you. But they finally got you. They finally found out what was going on. They finally found out that you're full of shit. It's not free advertising because you're getting paid on the side via monetization, and you didn't break them off a single bit of percentage.
It's just like a drug supplier. A drug supplier can supply drugs for how many years until he gets caught, and when he gets caught, that's it.
Now, also another thing, Liger actually made an example. He named PewDiePie. Now he said like this. So many of the games that PewDiePie played on his short videos, most of the time, those games that were featured up there that he played, they didn't get enough sales. Heck, the ones that had like millions of views didn't get millions of sales.
Hey, my thing is, at the end of the day, people, look, you're mad that Nintendo does not allow monetization or streaming of their content. Okay, stream somebody else. See, my thing is, even though we had a lot of studio closures over the last decade, at the end of the day, you got Capcom, you got all these other companies out there. You got Ubisoft, you got EA, you got all these other smaller studios and indie studios. Why don't you stream their content while you're talking about gaming? How about that? Because I'm pretty sure Nintendo's no more paying your bills.
And not only that, if you want to stream Nintendo's content, well, guess what? You can't monetize it. Life, get on with it. You know.
But at the end of the day, if you're streaming gaming and get paid, let's say you're streaming gaming and get paid, and Nintendo says, "Hey, we ain't gonna allow this no more. At least not to be monetized." Okay, well, stream somebody else's content. Are you worried that people they don't care to see other gaming content besides Nintendo's? Because to me, let's say I was PewDiePie, and Nintendo came out with this bullshit, I'm like, okay, then I'll just start streaming, NBA Playgrounds, or I start streaming Ubisoft games. To me, that's a simple fix. Why you pissed off?
I've got to agree with it. I've got to agree with you on that, Doc. Because if you're treating it on the premise of you're just doing it for a hobby, like what a lot of us were doing, then it works for you, because you don't have to worry about the money aspect of it. You're not doing it for the money aspect of it. You're getting your money by other means, whether that be a job or an actual business or whatever. But then for the people who want to use this model as a business, you've got to treat it like a business. And if you can't get access to a certain product, you shouldn't get angry at that, because I'm sure that's not the only product that's keeping your business going. If you're thinking from a business mindset, then what you basically do is go to the next best thing that you are able to utilize and make money from, and do that. Whether you like the product, whether you like it or not, whether you like it or not in this context right now is irrelevant. As long as you like what you do in the sense of advertising games and in the sense of, you know, showing gameplay footage and stuff like that, then whether you necessarily may like the game as much as you would have preferred to do it for a Nintendo game, well, you know what, tough. You don't have the option now, so you have to pick the next best thing that you have access to.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of makes me a little upset with these people, is that they're like, oh no, but let's be clear. Everyone thinks this is all about Nintendo, and well, that Nintendo won't let me stream their games and make money off of it. That's not the problem. The problem is that these people are like 3-year-old children. They're angry because someone told them no. And they're throwing tantrums about it. They're like little children. Oh no!
It's not just radio. Also, millennials are having trouble getting a job in the real world.
That sounds like my older brother. Oops, did I say that out loud?
They act like children. Oh no, I can't have it. Well, you know, look, there's a lot of stuff you can't have. I mean, look, all of us have things we would love to have. We wish we would have it right now, but we realize that we either can't have it or it's going to take some time.
Heck, I wish I had a platinum album, but they ain't going to be here yet.
You know?
At the end of the day, it's like people. I'm going to break this down to the lowest common denominator. Check this out. This is fucking video games.
Yep.
If you're getting pissed because you cannot stream a video game, you know what? You should kind of be happy, because at least this way you can focus on actually playing it instead of trying to stream it to make money. But at the end of the day, if you're getting paid for this, I understand. It's kind of like losing hours at a job, maybe. But guess what? You don't sit your ass and pout. You go look for another job.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, this isn't.
But these guys don't want to work 9 to 5.
Yeah, the fact.
Oh, shut up!
Look, the fact that these people listen. I'm not gonna knock these people's hustle. People who've actually made money off of it.
I'm knocking it.
But you want to know who you should be angry at? The person you should be angry with is the person who messed up your hustle, who messed it up for everybody. I mean, basically, let me put it this way, okay? You are like people who are making your job. You're like people who make your money by selling ice cream. And it's a sweet gig. But then, you know, some asshole pops up and he's molesting kids while driving an ice cream truck. Now, you need to get mad at that guy who messed up the hustle for everybody else. Because that's who the problem is. That's where your problem is.
No, but even with that, you shouldn't even be relying on this shit 100%. PewDiePie has 60 million people, so even on a bad day, he's making more money than all of us, okay? But if you got 10,000 subs, shut the fuck up. If you got 5,000 subs, kiss my ass. If you even got 100,000 subs, let me tell you, eat a dick. Because you ain't making a difference. You're not making a difference. I'm sorry. You're not making a difference. You may bring in a minimum wage check, but you're not making a difference.
You know, I can't go that far. Here's what I'll say. And here's where I'm gonna go far away. I'm gonna differ from the rest of the group. I'm not gonna knock people's hustle for making money off of this. You know, if you found a way to make money off of playing video games, God bless you. Good for you.
I'm knocking the whining of it, because
I was gonna say
you were essentially you got away with breaking the law for years. It's okay. Be glad you're not getting arrested, because they really wanted to, and Nintendo really wanted to, they could sue you. Well, if they really and truly wanted to, somehow, some way, there's a bureaucratic loophole that allow them to pursue a lawsuit.
Well, yeah, but
with the tiny amount of money these people are making, it wouldn't even be worth it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where I'm going to kind of go. Okay, this is why I'm going to say, you know, I'm not going to complain about them being mad about it and them whining about it, because to be fair, I mean, like I said, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna bring it home a little bit. Like, it's kind of like where, you know, people confuse black people with dark-skinned people with bad attitudes. It's like this one person messed it up for everybody else. Get mad at that one person, but here's the problem: YouTube was never regulated to start with. It was a wild, wild west where people did whatever the hell they wanted, and there were no rules and regulations.
Then the law caught up.
and now they're like, oh shit, we're actually making lots of money with this, and people are putting like millions and billions of dollars into this. We have to have rules. It's look, this goes back to 2K people. You've been doing this. You've been letting people get away with murder for 10 goddamn years. Don't act surprised now.
See, it's a good example. See, what you guys should have did is the moment 2K introduces virtual currency bullshit, you should have said no back then.
Yep.
But you probably thought to yourself, oh, this ain't bad. This adds extra layer of difficulty to the game. No, whenever you were asked to pay for content instead of just unlocking it naturally, you already have lost. Like I said in one of my last videos, all it takes is one idiot. If one person invests or a small group of people, you've already told them, hey, there's somebody out there willing, dumb enough to do this.
Well, maybe this is exactly why these companies can allow for the people to make money off their games, because they're already putting it back. They're only just gonna put it back into the DLC.
Yep.
Shit. It's like, I mean, people.
It's like, yeah, you make your money from our live streaming. Don't worry, we'll get it back in the DLC later on. Season pass is coming out next week.
Here's what I'll say: if you were a person that you Twitch stream Splatoon gameplay, and now you can't, well, guess what? Go stream some Overwatch. I'm pretty sure they don't care. If you were a person streaming Mario Kart, go play Forza 7. You have choices, people. If nothing else, Crash Team Racing. Maybe some people enjoy that. If not, because
Crash Team Racing, seriously?
I'm just simply saying there are options out there. Nintendo is not the only company that makes games that you can stream.
Do you ever remember the days where you were just a kid and you got 2 games and you had 2 games for like a year and you had to enjoy those 2 games and be grateful, and then you probably found out later down the line that those 2, and you remember later down the line those 2 games you probably enjoyed so much. One of them was probably a very poorly reviewed game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it was back in the day. You would get a piece of garbage, or even you knew the game was bad, but you just be like,
"This is all I got."
Yeah, this is all I got. Because if I complain, my parents are going to take away my system or take away the game. Then I got to take it down.
Your only choice was to hope your friend had the same system and he would trade you.
Yep.
You remember you had to borrow your friend's games and stuff like that.
I mean, it's sad. And then we got people bitching because they can't stream what game they want. It's like, dude, you got one company shutting you down.
Research before getting some things, especially games.
And people would have to ask their friends to help them get past a level they're stuck in.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
That was back in the days where you got the Christmas and birthday money and you could actually treat yourself. That, you know how good it felt when you just like a 10-year-old kid and you can buy your own video game like this.
Unless you was rich enough where you didn't have to ask your face, use that hotline.
I'm going to take this to a happier time and we're going to close out. This is my stupid ass subject segment, SAS. And it may be game related, it may be gaming related, it may be life related, but I chose one tonight. Here it goes. So you're taking a shit in the public bathroom.
Oh God.
Now, I got a few scenarios here. Let's say you're taking a shit in the public bathroom and there's someone in the stall right next to you. Like they walk in and get in the stall right next to you and also take a shit. Do you keep your shit quiet? Do you go ahead and blow a gasket because you don't care? Or like, honestly, what would you do? Would you like? Because I know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell the truth. There are times where like I don't want anyone to hear what the hell I'm doing. It is. It's not because I'm scared, but it's like, okay, I can be patient and wait till you leave. All right. This is sometimes. There are times I walk to the bathroom and I'm talking about seriously. Someone will walk in after me, get installed right next to me, and sit down, and all you hear is I'm like, what the fuck? Like you just let loose. You didn't have no time to pray about it. Nothing. You just let it go. So I want to know if y'all were in the bathroom already in the stall. Let's just say you're in a big stall, and someone walks in and plops down on the toilet right next to you. What would you do? Are you gonna keep yours quiet, or are you gonna let yours go no matter what, no matter how loud?
Well, it depends on the time. I try to wait till I get to the house.
Well, I'm a big believer in the fact that I'm a big believer in the fact that there ain't nobody in this world whose shit don't stink, So that's pretty much a fact of life. So for me,
I don't want to smell nobody else's.
But no, but the point I'm making is that for the most part, I don't really care. Now, if it's someone that I know, like if I'm at work and I'm going to the toilet and one of my colleagues is there, and I'm certain people, I don't want them to really. It's not that, again, it's not a thing of being scared or anything. It's just that certain people, I don't want them to know me like that, because
hell.
No pun intended, people chat shit. And I really ain't trying. I really ain't trying to have that kind of hassle in my life.
You don't want to be that guy.
I'm already dealing with my own shit. Someone else's.
You don't want to be that guy who's like, people are like, man, that dude, I'm telling you something, he's sick or something because look, he was killing somebody or something. I don't know, man. Like,
if it's a bunch of people that I don't know, especially if I'm at work.
Who gives a shit?
Especially if I'm at work and it's one of the wealthy. No, especially if I'm at work and it's one of the some of the wealthy clients I'm using, and there's no separation between the staff toilet and the customer toilet, and some of the wealthy clients are in there. I take pride in making sure that shit goes out as loud as strong as possible, because it's just a guilty pleasure.
Okay, well, what about you?
But for the most part, if it's someone I don't know, I just don't really care. Like, at the end of the day, like we all got shit at some point. So, but when you got to go, you got to go. It is what it is.
Okay, what about this, right?
It depends on what I ate. It depends on what I ate after the day before. Because
I'm not talking about if you know how to. I'm talking about if you're already in there, sitting down. Someone comes in behind you, sits down in the stall next to you,
and you getting ready to squeeze out a doo-doo baby.
Yeah, and you're about to squeeze yours out, and there's a moment of silence. There's no sound going on. Will you keep yours silent and probably wait for them to spill their guts? Or will you just your mentality is I don't give a shit. You hear what you hear, you smell what you smell, whatever.
I'd give no shit.
Man, I'm going Super Saiyan. Doc, I'm going Super Saiyan.
Okay, no. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I have been in the bathroom before. I've been in the bathroom before where someone actually pulled probably a white chicks on me. With Marlon Wayans, and he blew that bitch up next to me. I'm sitting here like that. I feel sad.
It's like this person needs to see a doctor. Seriously, like you need to go. You need to get some fiber in your diet. Maybe eat a wicker set.
He might just had a good plate of beans before. You never know.
Nah, man. Look.
That sounds like some IBS shit right there.
I eat Mexican food. I know beans.
Okay, what about you, Red Fox?
I, believe it or not, am a shy. I'm a shy shitter. So basically,
so you're pitch one off.
No. As soon as someone pops up, I clam up, man. I'm like, yeah. And I wait for them to leave. And then I continue. Or if I absolutely I'm in extreme intestinal difficulty, well, I'm gonna have to use the old flush and go.
Oh my God.
All right. Who else there? Raphael.
Yeah. Lucky for me, the restrooms I go to are mostly empty, so I don't have to worry about
Hey, well, that's all what you typically encounter.
Yeah, he said mostly. So there is that one encounter.
Yeah, but luckily that one person may not hear me doing my business.
Okay. So you get shot.
And luckily my sounds aren't as loud as you guys. So I'm perfectly content.
Okay.
Also I don't eat beans, so I'm perfectly fine.
What about you, Triple M?
Okay.
Do you shit all over the place, or do you get quiet?
Now,
Go Super Saiyan 3.
When I know there's no one there, I just let it out. But if there's someone, at least one person in there with me, I try to let it come out silent, but most of the time, it's a failure.
All right. Well, here's the next scenario of this SaaS topic.
I just want to say one quickly. Has anyone ever felt like they needed? Has anyone ever felt like that scene in Dragon Ball Z where Goku's first going Super Saiyan 3, where you're like trying to do a shit, and it's just like it's one of the hardest things to squeeze out.
No, I never had that situation because every time I think about that, I'm like, man, that's how Elvis died.
Okay.
Nah, man, those moments quiet.
Listen to the next one. Okay.
You've really got to put out some Super Saiyan energy to get them ones out, man. It's just
and
then it's a relief when it's done.
Here's the next one, though. So, it's all quiet in the bathroom. This person's next to you. It's all quiet, right? Now, all of a sudden, you just hear this. What do you do?
Okay, then. Okay, then. Basically, as soon as someone enters a bathroom with me, if I'm in it, like literally, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those pee shy bathroom people because basically I live by myself. So it's like I'm not used to having people be in the bathroom with me any damn way. So like I'm like, oh man, someone else is in here with me. Well, we're done. We're done.
So you said you hear that first turd hit the water, you're out.
Yeah, I'm done.
You know what? Nah, when that first turd hits the water, that's usually an indication for me to say, okay, someone's gone there before me. Now time for me to take my shit.
No. I can't.
Now that someone else has done it, I don't have to feel so bad about doing it.
No, because I'm one of those people. I can't do it. Can't do it while someone's there with me.
Jeez, man, it's just a shit, fam. We all gotta do it.
I know, but not while someone's there with me.
Right? You're that first turd in a completely quiet bathroom, just drop like.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, well, we're done. We're done.
So no. Sometimes I ask the person beside me how they feel.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
No. There's no talking aloud in the bathroom. Okay?
Yeah,
That's a sacred moment of silence.
Yeah, that's breaking. You've broken rule number 62. Right there. No talking aloud in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you understand that, man. You don't understand. I need complete silence around when I'm taking shit. I'm not trying to contemplate my thoughts here as well while I'm trying to get this waste out of my system.
Yeah, look.
Man, I mean, when I'm in the I tend to have my iPod with me, so like I don't.
No, man, no. When someone's in the bathroom, man, that is. There's serious stuff going on here, okay? Like there's look. People are thinking. We're ordering the universe in our heads. We're going through what we need to do for the rest of the day. We're really taking care of shit. We ain't got time to be having conversations. How's it going? Look, you need to pay attention to your own shit, my friend.
Literally.
Literally, yes.
Okay, I have one more. I have one more. I want you guys to, give your open opinions on. So, and this is sort of related. So you're in the bathroom. You're standing in front of your. You're in the urinal. You're standing up taking a piss. Guy walks in next to you. he's taking a piss. And while he's taking a piss, all of a sudden he just like farts. What's your response?
Well, did you say he comes in the urinal right next to you?
He's in the urinal right next to yours.
Well, the fact that he's in the urinal right next to me, he's violated the code of good urinal etiquette, and it's not just something I've got from my thinking. You don't use the urinal right next to me. Like, even if you have to, go in the toilet cubicle or wait.
Yeah. You here's.
Yeah, I feel violated.
Yeah, here's something that
you violated my personal piss space.
Yeah, here's something I've seen people do in a bathroom, and this is like one of the worst etiquette things you can do in the bathroom. There's like a line of urinals, let's say 7. Okay, you get one that's on the end. It's like second to the last of the end or on the end. And some dude comes in and gets the one right next to you. It's like, it's empty. You had all these choices. Why are you getting next to me, dude?
Yeah. Okay. I'll say it. There's only 2.
Oh, well, I mean, I do what I got to do to get the hell out of there. I mean, look, man, look. The same muscles that control your need to urinate also connect to the muscles that hold in that area in your rear. So I mean, look, sometimes if someone's gassy, it's hell, maybe the dude ate some beans. I don't know.
For me, it just depends on how bad it smells and how long I need to empty out the hose for. So So like, it's the worst case scenario is if it smells bad and I'm taking a long piss, because then I'm just there like, hurry the fuck up.
Anybody else on this stupid ass subject?
Well, I rarely use the urinal. I just pee in the toilet, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I will never have to worry about you violating good urinal etiquette, or as they call in my fan kids, the splash zone.
Well, I've learned a lot of you today have some severe emotional issues when it comes to the toilet, and I'll just leave it at that.
No, it's not so much. It's not the emotional issues. It's just it depends on what is acceptable for you. What's acceptable for some people is not acceptable for others.
What's acceptable for me is when I gotta go. I'm not walking around with myself feeling tight and hitched up because I ain't gonna take a shit yet. Right. In fact, I'll go in the McDonald's toilet just to take a shit and not buy nothing, and that is literally me shitting on McDonald's, and I'm proud of it.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close out.
Hey man, they got good ass teeth, but yeah.
Well, I do want to thank all you guys for coming and making this a blast. I do plan on doing this SAS thing with every podcast. If you guys got some ideas, let me know. I got like 5 or 10 more backed up just in case.
Okay, that's
yeah, I'm sure you do, my friend. I'm sure you do.
You know what?
Let's keep
it
out of the bathroom at least.
No, you know what, Doc? You really slide that thing.
Wow.
No. Well, go ahead and give your side offs, starting with Mr. Red Fox.
It's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. I have a lot of videos backed up, and I'll definitely work incredibly hard to get them out. Look, this is an unintentional pun. But as I'm saying it, considering what our topic was, it seems to be aligning perfectly. But
did you really have to go there?
But that's neither here nor there. But see,
yeah, you're right. It's in the toilet.
Yeah, you just have to.
But in all seriousness, though, really, I've got like 3 videos on the Orville coming out, and Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get those out. So
And listen to the name, people. He calls his videos BS Busters.
yes, it's all about busting bullshit. So
Get your toilet paper ready.
We'll be talking about all types of awesome stuff. So with that being said, yeah, Mr. Red Fox here, and this was a fun cast. It was a long time coming, but it was totally fun.
All right, and Double M.
Yeah, so well, I'm kind of lost for words. I think I've been out of the podcast game a bit too long. But yeah, everyone, be cool, be sensible, even though I know you won't be. But yeah, and change the world and all of that kumbaya shit. Yeah, goodbye.
And Raphael.
Hello, this is Piggy Don. Be sure to visit Video Game Facts on Discus, where we discuss about video game facts and opinions on the gamosphere. I am currently doing a month-long series where I post video game creepypastas each day because it's October.
Okay.
That'll be all.
Even La Resistance.
Triple M.
Well, I had a lot of fun on this cast. Appreciate you even be here. And well, I don't got much to say. Just oh yes, we missed that one game is Forza Motorsport. Man, that sure it really got a lot worse in that one. But I digress. Since this is Triple M here, and I would say exit stage. Oh, a door trap.
And Sprite, if you're there, you can get off Sonic.
Man, this game is too good. All right, this is Sprite Remix here. Do a little podcast, join some games, obviously, because you probably hear Sonic Mania in the background. And yeah, good.
And Jewel.
This is Jura Eli Moonstar, the gaming mage, for having us with you on this lovely evening.
And as always, I'm your humble host, Dr. Feelgood. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for for dropping by. That's not a pun. And as always, keep it gaming.
And keep from the orange juice.